Hi guys, welcome to Robin Hood Diaries today. Hope you're doing well, doing fair to Midland, and I'm here with you, so I'm good now. I preview today is something like all the cruisy hotspots in LA don't get arrested, something like that. Bit of clickbait there, but true to form with the topic. I'm going to talk about cruising locations in Los Angeles. Now this is, like I kind of said in the preview, it's going to be like PG-13. Like my show's basically PG-13, unless you really like deep, like dive deep into the subject. I try to keep it, I don't know, what do I keep it? So this is an underworld that exists globally. Okay, there's like, for decades and decades, there's a book that you can buy called the Damn Wrong Guide. There's also another couple of ones that are duplicates, and it's a book this thick, and it shows literally cruising locations, nothing salacious, like this evening, nothing salacious, but cruising locations globally. So like if you're in Guam or Turkey, that's how we found the bathhouse, in Istanbul. But anyway, so these are literally like a phone book of locations, and the font's like this big, so it's tons. And then like, what to expect, and of course what the ramifications of getting caught would be. Now, when I say cruising or tricking, I don't mean like a sex worker. It's not like that. It's a tryst. It is an encounter that is expected to result in some form of sexual activity on the spot or soon thereafter. That's a cruise. It's not going out getting laid, which would be maybe a straight terminology for perhaps this. We are dealing with a community, and I'm not excusing nor am I philosophizing on cruising, but you have to remember that, and I'm addressing gay men in particular, a subculture or a sub-underworld where you have been driven into, so that in normal society, for so very long until recently, there was nowhere for us to go. Okay, we didn't have pubs, saloons, and other places to go to, nor brothels. We had to go underground, and so hence cruising, hence this sort of subterranean language that you have with other gay men, just using this as an example, in order to obtain some sort of sexual encounter soon after contact. That would be kind of cruising. Not the movie with William Friedkin. That's a whole other arena. It's in my top 10, but this is that's not the cruising I'm talking about. This is more of kind of like a different thing. Okay, so let's move through the areas and locations that one would go as a gay man to seek sexual gratification or an encounter, if they have a place to accommodate that to happen, if someone else has a no roommate home, that kind of thing, okay? But usually at the location. So we're starting at Venice Beach. Now, I did mention there's straight and there's gay cruising. I covered the straight cruising area on the south side of Griffith Park, which they have the whole south side, and we have the whole north side. So I'm going to start from the west and go east. Everything basically from West Hollywood to the beach is primarily gay. Lesbians do not tend to cruise, in my humble experience, over many, many decades, in any way, shape, or form the way that gay men do. So in Venice, we have Venice Beach. Venice Beach in and around the skating, restroom areas, of course. There was also a segment of Venice Beach that was kind of nude for years. Okay, so any restroom, of course, and I'm not talking about like dirty, filthy, like what they call tea room action, but it's sometimes a place to meet, not very commonly, in order to regroup somewhere else. Well, I have a very, very famous friend who is no longer with us, who I cannot name, who bragged that this person, had a sexual encounter with Richard Ramirez before all of the fracas around his murder spree. So that was, for me, whoa, okay, That is way like different, like galaxy of cruising, and he was absolutely convinced it was him. So now we're going to move through, like, let's say UCLA area, Westwood, West Los Angeles. Okay, speaking of UCLA, I'll address campuses. Campuses are notorious for cruising areas. If you are a gay man and you are looking to cruise, and again, this could be going to an area where you can elicit eye contact or receive eye contact, body language, lots and lots of back and forthing around each other in whatever area it is, unnecessary proximity, unnecessary lingering eye contact, repeated eye contact. This is more kind of the dynamic that I'm speaking of, not actually the act of going to someone's place and getting it done. It's not really, let's have some nuanced thinking here if you're interested in the subject. So again, campuses, libraries, okay? Lots of lingering, lots of corners to like cruise. Again, cruising itself is not the act of having the encounter. Cruising is the whole science behind what is going on prior to the sexual encounter. So again, campuses rife with it, usually in libraries, very quiet, usually separate sections of the campus. Now, there's also dorms. Dorm cruising would typically perhaps nowadays be online, where you would kind of like set up like a, I don't know, Craigslist type date or whatever, but you go to the person's dorm or resident, I mean their dorms, residential living is off campus usually, but the dorms themselves, and you will be called to the dorm, have access to the dorm, meet the person at the dorm, and at times, so I'm told, have an encounter that involves more than you and that person, hence it being in a dorm room.